All right, folks. Thanks for checking out the video. I want to talk today about a report from Semafor about the Biden campaign team meeting with dozens of reporters and so called journalists to try and shape the narrative of their coverage. So, from the report here, it says presidential privilege. Biden's reelection campaign has begun organizing a series of off the record trips for top political reporters and editors to the team's headquarters in Wilmington, Delaware, and meet senior officials, including the campaign manager, deputies, and other high ranking advisors for background briefings on campaign strategy. They're also using it as an opportunity to tell them what they're getting wrong. Two people with knowledge of the situation told Semafor that during meetings with reporters from outlets like the New York Times, the Washington Post, and others, campaign officials have invoked a coverage spreadsheet laying out areas where the team believes their reporting has fallen short. In particular, campaign officials have chafed at some of the coverage of former President Donald Trump, feeling that outlets are too focused on his legal troubles and haven't paid enough attention to some of his incendiary recent statements on the campaign trail. A source familiar told Semafor that with the exception of its recent meeting with the Times, the campaign meetings have been substantive and productive, and that Biden staffers were scheduled to meet in the coming days with political reporting teams from ABC, NBC, the Wall Street Journal, Fox, NPR, Reuters, Bloomberg, and others in Wilmington. So I thought this was interesting. I haven't seen a lot of reporting on this. I mean, are any of these outlets going to report on themselves? I mean, it's really not surprising, and the fact that the Biden campaign is thinking that they're getting excessively negative or, I guess, untrue coverage is just absolutely laughable. If anything, the media that you see, whether it's in print, online, on TV, on radio, and so forth, all of these national organizations, they're all staffed with people who are rooting for Joe Biden, who are on Joe Biden's side, effectively, if you want to look at this in terms of sides. So the fact that they can't even take that, I think, is very interesting. It's very interesting that they live in such a bubble that they think, oh, well, all these reporters are getting it wrong, and they're not covering us in a fair manner, which is just laughable. And this reminds me from the late 2000s, something called journalist. Now, you may or may not be familiar with this, but look it up. Look it up. There was basically an online forum of about 400 or so leftist journalists, political analysts, academics, and so forth. Basically, people that were publishing blogs, writing articles, and so forth to not only discuss politics and current events, but to basically unify their message and their narrative about how they were going to report on issues of the day from, of course, from a leftist or Democrat Party point of view. That was their main objective with this, because obviously there were no conservatives, there were no right-leaning members in this group, because they didn't want anybody like that to have access to this information. And a couple highlights, if you will, from that were regarding the Jeremiah Wright controversy from Barack Obama's first campaign. It says, one journalist contributor, Spencer Ackerman of the Washington Independent, stated, if the right forces us all to either defend Wright or tear him down, no matter what we choose, we lose the game they've put upon us. Instead, take one of them, Fred Barnes, Karl Rove, who cares, and call them racist. Well, there's a unique idea there, right? Oh, we're just going to call somebody on the right racist, right? Chris Hayes of The Nation, now of MSNBC, was requesting ideas from other journalists for best ways to criticize Sarah Palin in an email thread. Okay, Ackerman was also quoted as saying, Find a right winger and smash it through a plate glass window. Take a snapshot of the bleeding mess and send it out in a Christmas card to let the right know that it needs to live in a state of constant fear. Obviously, I mean this rhetorically. Okay. According to media scholar Jim A. Kuipers, the hatred of conservatives was strong on the list. Sarah Spitz, an NPR affiliate producer, had written that she would laugh loudly like a maniac and watch his eyes bug out if she would witness Rush Limbaugh having a heart attack. Okay, so if you don't think this kind of thing is still going on, I mean, it obviously is. All of these media outlets, like I said, whether it's cable news, broadcast news, different blogs, different print publications, they're all on the same page. They're all on the same side. They're ostensibly competitors, but they all work together to shape the narrative. And obviously, this is just going into overdrive leading up to the 2024 election. So I just wanted to put this out there. I just thought everybody should know about it. And like I said, look into this journalist thing and go down that rabbit hole. And tell me if you don't look at the news media differently after learning some of the things that came out about that. So anyways, let me know what you all think. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.